Isaiah 53 to the Christians and Messianics is the most powerful proof text of a chapter where there's not just a verse that they're using to prove that Jesus is the Messiah. They got the entire chapter and they're saying, read this chapter and make your decision. Jesus is your Messiah. You missed the boat. He is the Messiah. It cannot refer to Israel. I don't care if you cite Isaiah 41 through 54. I don't care how many times it says Israel is the servant. Isaiah 53 stands alone. Isaiah 53 is about Jesus. They will, when they're truly honest, say yes. The other chapters are about Israel, but Isaiah 53 is about Jesus. Now the question that I'm going to ask myself and ask you, can we, who want to go beyond this and not just accept this conclusion, can we look and search through Tanakh to show that Israel is often referred to in the singular in other places besides Isaiah 53? The answer is yes. Please join me. Write down these verses. If you can, get a paper and pen, pause the video, and write these all down and search for these so you have the answers. I hope you'll enjoy. Let's begin. Because again, I'm not going to give you my opinion. I'm going to give you the scripture. This is just a taste of stuff that I research to help you. We'll begin with Isaiah 43 verse 10. A big problem for people that believe that Isaiah 53 is speaking about Jesus. Because it states there two things. Number one, it says, this is Isaiah 43 verse 10. It says, you are my witnesses, plural, says Yehovah, and my servant, singular. Two phrases, witnesses and my servant. So you have the plural and the singular in one passage. Now there are some Christians, some Messianics that will say, I don't care. I don't care what Isaiah 41 through 54 says. All I care about is Isaiah 53. Take Isaiah out of your breath and show me other places where it says that Israel is referred to in the singular. I'm game for that. Let's do it. Exodus chapter 4 verse 22. Again, Exodus 4, chapter 4, verse 22. And you shall say unto Pharaoh, this is Yehovah speaking. Thus says Yehovah, Israel is my son, my firstborn. He doesn't say Israel's my sons or my children. He says Israel is my son. And he also uses a singular for firstborn. Hosea chapter 8 verse 3 says, Israel has rejected the good, the enemy will pursue him. Again, Israel's referred to in the singular as him. Sounds very much like Isaiah 53. Hosea chapter 11 verse 1. When Israel was a child, then I loved him, and I called my son out of Egypt. So again, Israel's referred to as him. And I called my son, not my children, my son, out of Egypt. It's very clear. Hosea chapter 14, verses 5 through 6. I will be like the dew to Israel. He will blossom like the lily, and he will take root like the cedars of Lebanon. His shoots will sprout, and his splendor will be like the olive tree, and his fragrance like the cedars of Lebanon. Psalms 130 verse 8. And he will redeem Israel from all his sins. Again, singular. his sins. Jeremiah chapter 48, verse 27. Now was Israel a laughingstock to you, or was he caught among thieves? For each time you speak about him, you shook your head in scorn. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 19. And I shall bring Israel back to his pasture, and he will graze in the Carmel and the Bashan, and his desire will be satisfied in the hill country of Ephraim and Gilead. Singular, singular, singular. Keeps going. Exodus chapter 19, verse 2. When they set out from Rephidim, that's Israel, they came to the wilderness of Sinai and camped in the wilderness, and here we go. And there he encamped in front of the mountain, that's Israel, in the singular. Exodus chapter 1, verses 10 through 12. Pharaoh says regarding the Jewish people, "Come, let us deal wisely with him, lest he increase. And if there will be a war, he will join our enemies and fight against us and go up from the land." So they appointed taskmasters over him, Israel, singular, to afflict him with hard labor. And he built for Pharaoh storage cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted him, the more he spread out, so that they were in dread of the sons of Israel. Nice finishing touch. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verses 8 through 13. When the Most High gave the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of man, he set the boundaries of the peoples according to the number of the sons of Israel. For Jehovah's portion is his people. Jacob is the allotment of his inheritance. He found him, now we're speaking about Israel, he found him in the desert land, and in the howling waste of the wilderness. He encircled him. He cared for him. He guarded him as the pupil of his eye. Like an eagle that stirs up its nest, that hovers over its young, he spreads his wings and caught them, going back and forth, see, singular, plural. He carried them on his pinions, and Yehovah alone guided him, and there was no foreign god with him, Israel. He made him ride on the high places of the earth, and he ate the produce of the field, Israel, he. And he made him suck honey from the rock, and oil from the flinty rock. I can go on and on and on, but this is just a brief video to describe this is just a taste of the many, many, many passages in Tanakh where it refers to Israel as a singular. I didn't need the book of Isaiah. Apart from the book of Isaiah, as you saw for yourself and heard for yourself, it is mentioned many times. That was just a handful.